Weird things from 1960s Batman no one mentions. Holy Batman trivia from the 1960s. Batman was a famous television character from the mid to late 60s. Burt Ward portrayed Robin, the youthful Marvel, while Adam West was the Cape Crusader. The series combined campy comedy with a sitcom mood and was a superb example of 1960s pop art look. The settings were brightly colored, and the villains were much more so, and they were usually portrayed by big stars of the day. The show aired for 3 great seasons before being canceled by ABC in 1969 due to a drop in ratings. Still recognized today as one of the most unusual and odd television series of its period, and it exposed us to a slew of bizarre characters. Watch this video for some of 1960s Batman facts you may not have known. The origins of Batman. The series was originally intended to be a cool and trendy criminal series, akin to The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which was popular then. But when ABC executives read the original Batman comic books, they found them to be incredibly campy and full of tongue-in-cheek humor. They determined that the only way to build a successful television program was to make it a campy, pop art manner. Ride in style. The Batmobile was one of the series' most recognizable components. The show's first vehicle was a modified Lincoln Futura. The Batmobile was auctioned off in 2013 for a whopping $4.2 million. A different duo. 2 independent screen tests were done to locate the ideal dynamic combo. The first featured Adam West and Burt Ward, while the second included Lyle Wagner and Peter Dial. Needless to say, West and Ward were cast. Nonetheless, the screen tests for both couples are available on YouTube, and they highlight how different the program could have been. In the 1970s, Wagner appeared with another television superhero, Wonder Woman Linda Carter. Historically poor test screenings. Return to the Batcave, Adam West's 1984 autobiography, stated that Batman's pilot episode earned in the upper 40s, the poorest result in the history of pilot testing. The average pilot score was in the 60s. While the producers made the changes, such as adding narration and a laugh track, the test results remained the same once the program was retested. The project received new special effects, and ABC opted to remain with it. The movie. A Batman film was released in 1966, the same year the program premiered. It was the first full-length Batman film, and it hit cinemas 2 months after the first season of the TV program ended. The film included almost all the show's regulars, including Adam West as Batman, Burt Ward as Robin, Cesar Romero as the Joker, Burgess Meredith as the Penguin, and Frank Gorshin as the Riddler. Lee Meriwether, who took over for Julie Newmar as Catwoman in the first 2 seasons of the program, subsequently appeared in 2 episodes as Lisa Carson. Unequal pay. Each season of Batman had 34 episodes, with 2 episodes broadcast each week. This meant a ton of work for West and Ward. Even yet, Ward was disappointed to learn that he was only paid $350 a week, a pittance compared to his co-star. A little help. The Batman comic books had been published since the 1930s and were still in print when the program aired. The character of Alfred the Butler had been killed off in the comics a few months before the series began. But when the producers announced that Alfred and Aunt Harriet would be included in the program, he was revived for the comics. Alan Napier, who portrayed Alfred, had never heard of Batman before assuming the job. Villainous angles. If you recall the sequences on Batman with the villains, because let's face it, the villains were the true scene stealers, you'll remember the slanted camera angles. The camera angle gets skewed or crooked whenever the spectator is led inside a villain's lair. This was done to demonstrate the shady character of these heinous murderers. Clowning around. The 2 Batman villains that feature in most episodes are the Penguin and the Joker. The Joker edges out the Penguin, who appears in 19 episodes, compared to the Joker's 22. As a result, the 2 villains appear in more than 1/3 of the show's 120 episodes. A laughing matter. Cesar Romero portrayed the legendary Joker in the series. The character's crazy chuckle was inspired by a genuine laugh Romero let out when he first saw his outfit. In an ironic twist, Frank Sinatra showed interest in playing the Joker as well. That's something we can't imagine, but it's something we'd want to see. Meow. 3 different women took on the role of Catwoman. Julie Newmar portrayed the feline villain in the first season, Eartha Kitt for the rest of the series, and Lee Meriwether in the 1966 spin-off film. Eartha Kitt helped break barriers. Eartha Kitt, who portrayed Catwoman in Season 3, became just the second African-American woman to be extensively featured on mainstream television in the United States. Recall, this was the 60s. She took over for Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura on Star Trek. Halle Berry, who portrayed Catwoman in 2004, modeled her portrayal of Kitt's from decades before. A bird of a different feather. The Penguin is another renowned villain from the season, but you probably didn't realize that Mickey Rooney was initially cast in the role. Spencer Tracy, shown here, was also, but only if the character could murder Batman. He missed the message on how a superhero plot works. Quack Quack. The Penguin's well-known cackle, or quackle, is the product of years of cigarette smoking by actor Burgess Meredith. He quit 20 years before it started shooting, but felt that his smoky voice would be ideal for the Penguin. The Bat Gadgets. Another noteworthy series theme was the never-ending stream of bizarre devices Batman deployed, many of which had the word Bat connected to them. The Brainwave Bat Analyzer, bulletproof Bat Shields, Bat Shark Repellent, and Bat Chilla, the funny Batman version of penicillin, were all available. Leaving little to the imagination. In recent renditions of the series, the Batman costumes have been rather stylish. They were stupid in the 1960s series, though. One notable flaw was how close-fitting they looked to be on the character's crotch. The National League of Decency was concerned about the backlash that the tight-fitting costumes might generate and urged the network to take action. The wardrobe staff utilized various tactics of restriction and layering to ensure that the ensembles would not generate criticism. Climbing to the stars. The majority of the program's villains were portrayed by great personalities of the day, and it seemed like every Hollywood star wanted to be a part of the show in the 1960s. Since there weren't enough parts for everyone, the producers devised the classic wall-climbing farce. In each narrative, Batman and Robin mount the wall of a Gotham City skyscraper to thwart an evil scheme. They have multiple pleasant meetings with celebrities on the way up, who peek their heads out the windows to see what all the hoopla is about. Among the most famous appearances are those of Sammy Davis Jr., Edward G. Robinson, and even Santa Claus. Riddle me this. Frank Gorshin, who portrayed the Riddler, was such a fan favorite that he received an Emmy nomination for his portrayal. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Role, and he certainly adds a touch of bizarre to the Riddler. Another Riddler. In the show, Frank Gorshin was not the only actor that played the Riddler. He performed the character in Seasons 1 and 3, as well as in the 1966 film. But in Season 2, John Astin took over. The Oscar-nominated actor, who's the father of Sean Astin and was married to Patty Duke, featured in 2 episodes in 1967. Gorshin portrayed the Riddler in 10 films. John Astin is best remembered for his role as Gomez Addams in the 1964 television series The Addams Family. 3 Mr. Freezes. There were 3 Mr. Freezes as well. George Sanders portrayed Mr. Freeze, alias Dr. Schimmel, in Season 1. Both Otto Preminger and Eli Wallach, shown here, play the villain in Season 2. This was easy to get away with since Mr. Freeze had a minor role in the program, appearing in just 6 episodes. All 3 actors portrayed him twice. New faces. In the 3rd season, a new hero is introduced, Batgirl. She was Commissioner Gordon's daughter, and she disguised herself as a female Cape Crusader to assist Batman and Robin when they were in difficulty. The character of Batgirl, portrayed by Yvonne Craig, was added to increase ratings and appeal to young females. But did you know that a Batgirl spin-off series was in the works? When Batman was canceled in 1968, though, nothing came of it. Holy Boy Wonder Batman. Robin is arguably most recognized for his on-screen remarks. They always started with "Holy" and concluded with "Batman." During the length of the program, Robin had 352 of these moments, some of which were rather inventive. Holy Jack-in-a-Box, Holy Haberdashery, Holy Ravioli, and Holy Schizophrenia are some examples. West. Adam West. If Adam West had desired, he could have played another hero. He was approached about playing James Bond in the 1969 picture On Her Majesty's Secret Service. He declined the job because he believed a British actor would be a better fit. George Lazenby, an Aussie, was finally cast in that picture. Batcave problems. The classic sequence in each episode in which the Batmobile smashes out of the Batcave on its way to combat crime was aided by some camera trickery. Branson Cavern in the Hollywood Hills was where the scene was shot. It was a touch too tiny for the Batmobile's frame. As a result, the cameras were undercranked, resulting in slow-motion footage that was sped up during playback. The Batmobile may have been leaving the cave at a snail's pace, but it seemed on television to be, well, a Batmobile racing out of the cave. Commercials and PSAs. Batman did more than only solve crimes and battle evil men. He also promoted things. When Commissioner James Gordon saw Chief Miles, O'Hara's hands were soiled in a 1966 lava soap ad, he requested Batman and Robin to give O'Hara some lava soap. In another commercial, Alan Napier acted as Alfred Pennyworth in an ad for Truth toothpaste. Throughout the series run, Batman also featured in 3 public service messages. He encouraged students to purchase U.S. savings stamps to support the Vietnam War and to drive safely. There was a third PSA as well, which has a very interesting backstory. Don't try this at home. Many times throughout the first year of the show's broadcast, children in the United Kingdom attempted to imitate Batman by leaping from high places. To avoid future accidents and tragedies, Adam West, Batman, and Burt Ward, Robin, taped a commercial stating that Batman cannot fly and that viewers should not attempt to do so. These PSAs were only broadcast before each episode in the United Kingdom. Ward exclaimed, "Holy broken bones!" on the spot. Keep it light, please. What might have been. Once the program was canceled, ABC hoped that another network would buy it and continue production. After a long period of waiting, they concluded that this would not occur, and the sets were destroyed. NBC then agreed to buy the program, but it withdrew its offer when it discovered that the sets had been destroyed. What might have been.